Hello students, once again welcome to English Literature Classroom. Today I am going to teach Smart English 8. The name of the poem is Mr. Nobody by Anonymous. Now what is Anonymous? It means the poet who has written this poem did not mention his name. Okay? The poet who does not mention his name, in those poem Anonymous is written. Clear? Now let's start the poem Mr. Nobody. I know a funny little man as quiet as a mouse who does the mischief that is done in everybody's house. There's no one ever sees his face, and yet we all agree that every plate we break was cracked by Mr. Nobody. It is he who always steers our books, not our book, out books. It is he who always steers out books, who leaves the door ajar. He pulls the buttons from our shirts and scatters pins afar. That squeaking door will always squeak for Preeti, don't you see? We leave the oiling to be done by Mr. Nobody. Now, the poem talks about a little man whom no one has seen. The little man is very quiet and does all the mischief in everyone's house. Okay, now Mr. Nobody. Who is this little man? Mr. Nobody is a little man, or you can say little boy, who is very mischievous and funny. He does not talk much, but he keeps doing naughty thing all the time. Now, what are the naughty thing he is doing? Okay, some of the troubles are books have been torn, the buttons have been pulled out from the shirts, and the pins are scattered. However, seeing that the little boy needs to learn, they leave the squeaking door to be oiled by the boy for him to learn. Now, let's come to third and fourth stanza. He puts damp wood upon the fire that kettles cannot boil. His are the feet that bring in mud and all the carpets soil. The papers always are misled. Who had them last but he? There's no one loses them about but Mr. Nobody. The finger marks upon the door, but none of us are mad. We never leave the blinds unclosed to let the curtains fade. The ink we never spill, the boots that lying around you see, are not our boots. They all belong to Mr. Nobody. Now, in this stanza, examples are given, okay, such as Mr. Nobody puts damp wood upon the fire, which causes the kettles cannot be boiled, bringing the mud into the house and make the carpet soiled and papers are misled. People know that no one could do such thing except for Mr. Nobody. However, though people like Mr. Nobody is quite troubling, okay, people like Mr. Nobody is quite troubling. They need to be directed and to be taught the meaning of life. For example, in this stanza, Mr. Nobody does not know the meaning of privacy, which he lets the door and the curtain open, leaving the boots not in the right place and spilling inks. Okay, now let's come to question answer. Who is Mr. Nobody? Has anyone seen him? Answer, Mr. Nobody is a funny little man who does mischief in everybody's house. Nobody has ever seen him. Write to mischiefs done by Mr. Nobody. The very plate is broken and cracked by Mr. Nobody. Besides, the buttons are pulled from the shirt by Mr. Nobody. Apart from this, Mr. Nobody does many other mischiefs. Okay, but I have not mentioned because in the question it is given only write two mischiefs. Okay, therefore I have given only two mischiefs. Okay. With this, I am concluding this video. In my next video, I am going to bring something new. Until then, goodbye.